Hello, my name is Kate, and today we're going to share some tips that might be helpful if you're looking to dive into genealogy research for the first time. The best place to start is by documenting what you know and interviewing family members, and this can include parents, siblings, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. So when interviewing, it's important to be sure to transcribe the information or to record the interview if that's something that they're willing to do. And you can decide how you would like to record your information, either through an online family tree, such as Ancestry or Family Search, for example, or by using a pedigree chart like this one on the screen here, which are available to print and download from the National Genealogical Society. Ancestry Library Edition also has several ancestral charts and forms available to download, and we'll talk more about the library's genealogy databases in just a minute. So when interviewing and recording this information, it can be helpful to make a list of questions ahead of time. So asking the person that you're interviewing questions about place of birth, burial locations, religious traditions in the family, and other stories passed down can be a great starting point for your research as background information. So now that you've maybe done some interviews and have some information recorded, it's time to begin the research process. So with genealogy, working backwards is the best way to do this, and I would recommend beginning with one side of the family, either dad or mom's. Picking one side to start with will make the research more manageable and less overwhelming. And planning your research helps to avoid inefficiency and omitting sources that might be useful. So this will involve creating effective research questions, which could concern various aspects of identity, relationship, events, and other situations that you're looking to learn more about. So if you're hoping to learn more about a great-grandfather, for example, a research question of relationship could be, who were the parents of John Smith, born August 22nd, 1916 in Kenton County? Or a question of identity could be, is John Smith living in Cincinnati in the 1940 census the same John Smith that was living in Kenton County in 1935? So now that you have a research question, the next step is to identify sources. And a couple of great places to start are with our KCPL Local History Guide, and then also through Family Search Wiki Pages. So to access the Local History Guide on our website, you can visit the Services tab there at the top, and then when the drop-down menu appears, you can click on History and Genealogy. Or to get directly to our page, you can go to kentonlibrary.org/genealogy. And you'll click there on the left on the Getting Started tab. And then scrolling down to the bottom under Research Guides, it'll be the first one that you'll click on. So in the Research Guide, you'll be able to view the full guide to the resources that we have in our collection, both online and in person in the library. And you can view a listing of the online databases that we have, including Ancestry, Fold 3, and our historical newspaper databases. Print resources and microfilm resources are also listed, such as the Protestant and Catholic church records that we have available for Northern Kentucky, cemetery records, birth records, and more. So our local history guide is a great place to start when beginning Kenton County and Northern Kentucky genealogy research. And our department also has records and resources for all Kentucky counties. So checking out our online catalog for other print resources that we have is another good place to start. And then the next resource that you can utilize to discover sources for your research is by visiting the FamilySearch.org wiki page for the geographic area where you're researching. And this screenshot here shows the wiki page for Kenton County. And many times on these pages, there will be information related to record loss in the area, records destroyed by fire or other incidents, and this particular wiki page states that there's no known record loss for this area, but if you were to look at the Hamilton County, Ohio Family Search wiki page, for example, there's a notation which indicates that courthouse fires in 1814, 1849, and 1884 may have damaged or destroyed some records. So the Family Search wiki pages may also have information on boundary changes for the county and availability of military records and additional items. So on the Kenton County Family Search Wiki, this is the section which illustrates vital records, birth, marriage, and death, and how they can be accessed for different years via different databases, and the links here can take you directly to those pages. And so going back to our webpage, kentonlibrary.org, you can click on the tabs on the left-hand side to explore our digital resources when looking for a source to answer your research question. So the Genealogy Databases tab will allow you to view our research databases, and this screenshot only captures just a couple. But scrolling down, you'll see Ancestry Library Edition, Find My Past, which is a great resource for church records and research in the UK. There's Fold 3, which is a database focusing on military records, My Heritage, and then also our Kentucky Sanborn Fire Insurance Maps. So next, we're going to click on our Genki database, and then this will bring you to a page here that looks like this. So Genki is our database where we have thousands of records digitized from our collection and our archives here at the library. And this includes yearbooks, local real estate records, cemetery records, records from the Children's Home of Northern Kentucky, and others which are digitized and searchable here. So next, going back to our genealogy database, we'll take a look at our historical newspapers. And here's a display of the newspapers that we have available to explore. And this includes the Cincinnati Enquirer, the Kentucky Post, which is digitized from 1895 to 1962, and then 1962 to 1990. We also have Newspaper Archive and newspapers.com, which both contain papers, historic papers locally and from around the world. And we also have our Northern Kentucky Newspaper Index here at the bottom, and articles from many historic newspapers that we have on microfilm have been indexed, and they're searchable here. So some of the articles in the index are available digitally via a PDF within that database. However, if you locate a citation for an article which is not digitized, it is available to be pulled from our microfilm collection here in the library. So this is the main search page on Ancestry Library Edition, where you can input names, dates, and locations. So searching through this screen, it'll search all record collections on Ancestry. So depending on the amount of information that you put in, it's possible that you may receive hundreds of thousands of results, which can be very overwhelming. So another way to identify your sources and make the most out of your searches is to utilize the card catalog that's available within databases such as Ancestry, Family Search, and Find My Past to narrow your sources. So on this slide, you can see the card catalog as it appears on Ancestry Library Edition, and you can view a listing of the newest collections available, which are highlighted in green there in the middle. And you can filter it down by collection depending on your research question and what you're looking for. You can click on census and voter lists, birth, marriage, and death, military, and many others. And you can also filter by location, the date the record was created, or you can search for a specific collection in the keyword search bar at the top. So if we were looking to determine whether an ancestor lived in Kenton County or Hamilton County in 1935, a source that we might use would be the city directories. So I searched for this record collection in the card catalog, and then when you click on that, it'll take you to a separate search page, and this will allow you to search only the records in this collection, which will help to focus your search, and your results will be a lot more accurate for the information that you're seeking. So now that you're ready with a research question and you have some possible sources to look into, the next step is to conduct the research. So research logs can be a helpful tool to use, and these are a couple that are available to download and print online. The one on the left is from Ancestry Library Edition, and the chart on the right came from Family Search. And when working on a research question, here you can record the call number or record number of the item that you looked at. You can jot down a description of the source and then the repository where you searched. And you can also record the results. And this is beneficial because it will save you time so that you can go back and look at what the records that you've looked through, and you can avoid searching those same records multiple times. So there are also search strategies that can be helpful to utilize, especially when searching within databases such as newspapers. And one of the most helpful is to put search terms, especially names and quotes. So if you're looking for a newspaper article about John Smith and you enter just those keywords in, the database will retrieve many results for those keywords, but not necessarily together. So by putting the keywords in quotes, the name John Smith will be searched together as a phrase. And you can also use search operators and or not to refine your search or expands your search. This will include results containing either keyword, and will narrow your search results to receive results containing both keywords, and not will narrow the search by eliminating a specific word or phrase. And lastly, truncation and wildcards are other search strategies that can be employed. So truncation finds alternate endings of a word. So if you're not sure of a spelling, like the spelling of a last name, for example, you can use an asterisk to receive alternate spellings. And then a wildcard search is similar. So it can retrieve alternate spellings, for example, the American and British spellings of the word color, as pictured here. And then, so now that you've located a record or two to help answer your research question, the next step is to analyze. So you'll want to evaluate the evidence that you've found, and this is important to determine how reliable it is. So you'll want to consider whether the record is an original or derivative. Original records tend to be the most accurate and were recorded close to when the event took place. But on the other hand, derivative sources, those are any non-original source that was based on a previously created record. So an example of those would be family histories, databases, indexes, transcriptions, or abstracts. And when you're analyzing a record, you can ask questions such as who created it, when and where was it created, who provided the information for the record, what kind of information is missing or incomplete in the record, and is the record part of a series of records that might contain further information about the person or the family. So these questions will help you to determine the reliability of the record. And also correlating the information with other records you found is important. You'll want to make sure that locations, names, and dates all mesh and make sense for the people identified in the record that you found. So those are a few steps to get started on genealogy research. We also provide one-on-one genealogy assistance in the local history and genealogy department. So if you have any questions about how to use our databases, search strategies, or questions about your research, give us a call to make an appointment. We offer assistance in person, over the phone, or through a virtual meeting. So if you have any questions or would like to make an appointment for one-on-one assistance, you can reach us at 859-962-4070, or you can send us an email at history@kentonlibrary.org. Thanks for watching.